Hey there. So this is the last video for our week of clefs. And you've learned about the treble clef, you've learned about the bass clef, and you've learned about the grand staff, which is when we take a treble staff and bass staff and combine them together. Well, there is one more clef, and this is called the C Clef. Now, remember, the treble clef is also the G clef because it used to be the letter G, and the bass clef can be called the F clef because it used to be the letter F. So, do you figure the C clef used to be the letter C? Yeah, no, not so much. C clef is a movable clef, and it looks like this. I know that it looks a little different. Don't be scared. And it's really an easy concept. Wherever these two curves come together, which in this case is the middle line, that note is C. That's why they call it a C clef. And more specifically, it is C4, which is also called what? Middle C. Good. So if this is C, if the line is C, what is the bottom line in this clef? Well, C, B, A, G, F. And so if we do the line and space thing, this is just one way to do it, we will get F, A, C, E, what's next? E, F, G. Which means the spaces are what? F, G. This should be a G, A, B, C, D, E, F. G, B, D, F. F. And we can do ledger lines if we want there too. This clef, this specific one, where it's the middle line is C4, is called the alto clef. And this is, of the C clefs, this is the one that we will use most often. You have a couple of little quizzes this week on identifying notes. Not just on treble clef, not just with the bass clef, but also with the alto clef. Because they're all part of music. The viola, the cousin of the violin, the viola plays in the alto clef. Lots of other instruments visit the alto clef when they get in alto range. But like I said, C clefs are movable. So we can also have this one here. Well, how do you know how this works? Same way. Where these curves go together, which in this case is that line, that is C4. And so you can figure everything out from there. So if that's C, go backwards. B, A, G, F, E, D. Wait, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Yeah, that's right. So you can figure out your lines and spaces that way. This is the tenor clef. Several instruments use the tenor clef, not as their default clef, but when it gets into the range, they use the tenor clef. But we're not going to be as concerned about this for this particular class. However, you are responsible for knowing the alto clef and being able to figure out what the notes are. Most of you, if you've had music before, you probably just dealt with one clef. Maybe just a treble clef, maybe even just the bass clef. Or if you had piano lessons, maybe you're used to treble and bass clefs. Most of you have probably not encountered the alto clef, and so my suggestion is spend some time on the drill sites, on the websites that are given, to practice naming notes in the alto clef. It's just like any other skill. It'll be slow and probably a little difficult at first, but if you do a little bit every day or a couple of times a day for just a little bit, you will be surprised at how quickly you improve. So the C clef, in particular the alto clef, that is the last of our tour of clefs. Have a great day.